What is up, guys? It's your girl here. It is the one who started it all, and I'm feeling pretty good about this movie review. This movie was suggested by Praveen Bohra, and Praveen had basically beforehand. I did a review on the suggestion that they told me from Shere Shan, Lion King, and which was about, it was depicting the life and the last moments of a 25-year-old man who basically gave his life during the Kargil War in India. That was a good movie. That's on Amazon Prime. I had to watch this movie because it was pretty neat. Also because I was on the free trial at Amazon Prime and I didn't want to pay for the membership because it's expensive. But this was a good movie. The movie that they suggested that I watch was Sardar Udham, which is based on a true story. This movie is about a man who has been tried and put to death for assassinating a British general, which this movie takes place in the past and in the present. Sardar had assassinated a colonel, some guy. It wasn't some guy, but he was kind of colonel, type of general. I don't remember his rank, of the British rule in India. Michael O'Dwyer, Dwyer, I believe that's his name. Was part of the British rule in India. And Sardar took revenge on him because this man happened to take part in a massacre that took place in 1919. Basically, he, wants vengeance, and follows him to London and shoots him. When he's sentenced to death, he makes, he's not afraid of dying. He goes, I'm dying for what I believed in. I do not and will not be ruled by bullies. I condemn the British rule of India, and I will always fight for my freedom. My freedom I will always fight for, as it is my birthright to be free. You guys have no right to rule over India. It's not going to happen. And even in my death, it wouldn't matter. And and with that, he goes on a hunger strike lasts for 42 days. 42 days, and of course they're not going to have it. No, we're going to have justice. You're not going to kill yourself for this. You're going to have justice. And they kind of force feed him, which is kind of brutal, but give me liberty or give me death, that kind of thing, but and that's what he was fighting for freedom, fighting for liberty, because they were being taken over, and it's kind of crazy because you don't hear about this. You're not taught this. I was never taught this. I knew the British had occupied certain areas of the world. Of course, you don't know how bad it is. You don't know. But it was bad. They massacred people. It's brutal in those times, And he came back and was like, no, I'm going to fight for this. It's not going to happen. I'm not going to take this lying down. And he tells the story through an investigator inspector, He slowly opens up to him, tells him why he did it, what was going on. And then he's executed. And what's crazy was his ashes were sent back to Punjab by the general. The general had requested that his ashes come in, and they buried his ashes. They put his ashes somewhere. I believe it was an idol of his that he looked after. He was buried somewhere. I believe, if I'm remembering correctly, in one of his idols, something like that. But he was honored. He was honored for his, courage and everything else. I think that's what kind of helped with break the camel's back, because eventually India did get their freedom back and so forth. It was a good movie. Again, like, I've always liked these kinds of movies because, again, these are stuff that I didn't know about, you know, like, I had an idea, but it was never brought into the light of, this was bad because of this, this, and this. You know, like I said, I'm always those people. I am still to this day this person, like, okay, if in Cambodia the British were there, what was going on over here? You know, what was going on in India? If there was some sort of, like, the Cold War, you know, we all know about the Cold War, but how was that affecting other countries, you know? What was going on here? What was going on in Russia? What kind of stuff was going on there? You know, like, those are the questions I will ask. Those are the stuff I want to know about. You know, in 1919, you know, like, if I'm remembering correctly, that was after the Great War. You know, the first war, the war to end all wars, you know. 1918 was like, I know the World War, I believe it was the end of that war. I believe it was the end. Yeah, it was the end of that war where the First World War was ending, and then 1919. Well, you don't hear anything else because the Second World War didn't happen until, you know, the Great Depression. You know, they were trying to get out of it, and that's why, you know, that's what happened. That was kind of crazy, though. But, you know, that's what's going on. You know, that I didn't know that. I only knew about the Great War. I didn't know what happened after the Great War. After that, what was going on in other countries. You know, again, that's something that's not, you are not taught. And Sardar Udham, like, you know, he took his freedom very seriously, and he was willing to die by it, you know. It kind of reminds me a lot of a Bible story, Meshach, Reshach, and Abednego, you know. They refused Nebuchadnezzar's idol, God. They refused to bow down to it. No, we're not bowing down to it. You know, even sentenced to death, even said, you will burn. You are going to die if you don't do this. They said, no, kill us. And they were spared by the grace of God, you know, because they fought for what they believed in and they were willing to die for it. And that's exactly what this gentleman did. Sardar was willing to die for it, and he didn't care. I'm fighting for my freedom. I am not going to let some bully tell me, you know, rule me like I'm some sort of slave. I refuse that, you know. And that's what he did, and that's what this movie was about. And it was a good movie. A very good movie. And I would watch it again. I would watch it again. Maybe when I can afford Amazon. But Praveen, thank you again for this awesome, you know, suggestion. That is, whew, the that end, like, when he makes that speech, it gave me goosebumps. That's how it should be. That's when you fight. You know, you don't do it for show. This is what you believe in. If that's what you believe in, you fight for it till it's your last day. And that's exactly what he did. You know, even sentenced to death, he still fought for it. He still did, you know. And it's a good movie. So if you guys are into biopics, you know, stories are based on a true story that actually have meaning, you know, you want to see, you know, the eyes of, you know, that person, this is a good movie. If you want to know more about, like, a historic kind of thing, this is a good movie. So Sardar Udham, you know, I do apologize if I'm butchering the name. And Praveen, like I said, obviously, I'm American. I'm sorry. But it was a very good movie. Thank you again, Praveen. You know, this was awesome. So I really, really enjoyed it. I liked it. So if you guys want to watch the movie, it's Sardar Udham. It's on Amazon Prime. You know, if you guys know of any other platforms to watch on, go for it. It was a good movie. I enjoyed it a lot. So, you guys have a good day, and be safe out there, okay?